stays in. And the Lions have caught lightning in a bottle.
Welcome to Little Birdie TV. I'm your host, Scoot, and we're talking Thursday Lions. Have a look at the AFL and NRL Grand Final. It's a massive week of sport. It's been a massive week of sport. We've got the Brisbane Lions, the new Grand Final winners, MG. You did your job. You took the big prize, Sydney Swans, at the start of the year. They choked it up, and they were absolutely abysmal. Some people described them witches' hats. I'd probably tend to agree. But it's a bit of a shades of the year before. You took the Brisbane Lions last year, got the good big futures price, and then you just couldn't quite get the cream there. And then, the Swans, great betting, but just couldn't get the job done. Welcome.
Yeah, Scooty. I think I was on Brisbane the 3 years beforehand, couldn't get the job done. Took them to within a kick last year, and I get on the right train, Scoot. I just can't find the station at the end. That's my problem, I think, falling short. I've been told that before. So, geez. Good day to go to the grand final as well, Scoot. I don't think many people turned after halftime. Lucky they put on Katy Perry pre-match, I think.
I thought she paraded okay. Didn't know what was doing with the outfits, but kids these days are into a different style of fashion than what I think's appropriate. But good luck to them anyway. Nick Tedeschi, it's the best week of the year, followed by one of the worst weeks of the year because the league's over in its traditional sort of sense, but bit of a snooze fest, which was somewhat predicted with the prelims. Storm 48, Roosters 18, Panthers 26-6. They sort of half had a scare through them early, the Panthers, but they just kicked into overdrive and couldn't get the job done, the Sharks. But so many costly errors. But welcome to grand final week, Nick Tedeschi.
Yeah, it is grand final week, so it's a little surprising we've kind of got to me about 5 minutes into the show, having led in with, as a punter, you usually look forward. You can't bet on things that already happened, so thanks for the recap of what's going on. But it's just grand final week. This is the week that stops the nation, so we're all up and about and very excited. So good to finally get to the league.
It's only stopping the nation because Melbourne Storm's in it. It's the only reason.
Oh, it's great with Melbourne Storm around. It's wonderful in Melbourne Storm around.
You're a chance to get a crowd.
They always get a crowd. They always get a massive TV audience, which nearly always puts the AFL into insignificance.
Sunday night, hardly a lot of competition going on, let's be honest. Fair dinkum.
Wow. It's not my fault that the AFL decided to move their grand final away from Saturday night to avoid the rugby league prelims, but they can choose when they want. They're welcome to have their grand final on Sunday night.
Nick Tedeschi, you give the AFL a fair pasting over the physicality of the sport.
It's a non-contact sport.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, your greatest game of all is trending that way rapidly. Some are saying next year they're going to just roll it out to OzTag. Nelson's suspension for 5 weeks is an absolute joke. Don't come in here to defend it because I know privately you agree with me. And last year in the AFL, Braden Maynard or Brendan Maynard, I don't really care, Bruz they call him for Collingwood, he ironed out Brayshaw and he got off. And now Nelson irons out Collins, and it was more accidental, I'd argue. He got 4 weeks, which is insanity. They just did it to make a bird of it and then gave him another one on top. 5 weeks is the most outrageous suspension. I don't give a crap who he is. He could be Freddy Krueger. He doesn't deserve 5 weeks.
For a love tap.
If you accidentally kill someone, it doesn't mean you get escape full stop. So I know the accident's got anything to do with it. I do tend to agree that I don't know if it was worthy of the grade 3 charge, but he got the 5 weeks not because of the charge. He got 5 weeks because he's got a hell of a lot of recent form, 3 charges for a similar instance in the last 12 months. So that's why he got 5 weeks. I think in normal circumstances he would have got 2. Now, my first look at him was like, "Ooh, this is bad." You look at it close up, I think he's very stiff to be honest, considering he got a higher grade on that than someone like Dominic Young who charged off a wing, swinging arm straight to the head. I'm not really sure what he was supposed to do in that situation. Collins is running full pelt at him. He drops the shoulder. He hardly kind of launches at him. So, I do tend to agree. I think I have no problem with this whole protecting the head business, but I am concerned, one, about the future to kick off, and two, about the inconsistency with which this is applied, because you see so many hits to the head in a game that just the bunkers have to look at and just let's go. So I would hazard to say, even regardless of the record, if it wasn't Nelson, if it was, Josh King, I don't think we're even talking about this. I think it's just play on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so stupid. You got the biggest game of the whole year. Everyone wants the best players out there, and they shoot themselves in the foot. And they've done their best to try.
To be fair, Nelson's wouldn't have been the best 20 players on the field. So I don't think anyone's calling Nelson one of the best players or having a cry because Nelson's not there. Like he's not in the same class as most of the rest of the players of the pay. He's spent a good deal of the season playing reserve grade. So I wouldn't be jumping on this as, that we've lost Cameron Munster. Cameron Smith used to grand final as well.
I was there, Scoot, live, as you know, and I haven't seen a sporting crowd get that angry for that send off. Absolutely crazy. And what they shouldn't do, the NRL, is when they make an error like that, as egregious as it was, do not show the replay 14 times, because it's not a good advocate for the game of rugby league, the hard man sport. Fair dinkum. I've had tougher love taps getting on a tram. He is an absolute unit, this bloke, and to see him live scares the bejeebers out of you. And he would start on the field top rope for a reason, because he needs to bring that physical element. And you're calling it the hard man's game, and then you send him off for a love tap, and then he gets suspended for 5 weeks because of things he's done in the past. Wow, what a sport!
It is. It's crazy. That's the thing that I can't get. Just because he's a bad boy, he's sort of like the Toby Green of NRL when it comes to judiciary. Top rope. You're also wrapped that Ashley Klein has got the gig.
What an absolute disgrace. Like, the officiating last weekend was everything we predicted. Absolutely appalling. This is 12 months on from averaging the grand final and being one of the few times I can remember in any sport anywhere in the world an official is widely lauded for a performance. And doesn't make the semi-finals, and you get the two clowns from last week. Grant Atkins had absolutely no control, as you said, was straight to the sin bin to that. Yeah. I'd say it's a bit more than a love tap, but probably didn't deserve a sin bin for mine. And then the Klein performance next one was absolutely disgraceful. The bloke, like the week before, goes, I'm just going to put away the whistle. Just premeditated, put away the whistle. Just got to do it. Last week, just get blown penalty after penalty for absolutely no reason at all. Like, zero consistency. He could not tell you whether it was night or day. And the only thing that made Klein look half decent last week was the performance of the bloody bunker. Chris Butler, the absolute clown that he is, disallowed a try because he was running at the outside shoulder when he clearly was running at the inside shoulder. I can't tell outside from inside. Honestly. Like, the state of this. Absolutely. Like, you're going to jail for conspiracy in some countries for rubbish like this.
I'd be in trouble.
In all sorts.
Top rope for the hat trick. Daily M medal. I think I know why they don't bet on it. Because how Jerome Hughes has fallen in by 1 vote or 1 point or whatever you call it up there. I don't know. You call potato cakes, potato scallops. You stuff a lot of things up in New South Wales. But
what do you mean up there? You're north of me. I'm down there. and we call it the same thing.
Now, look, the Daily M, it's an absolute debacle. How they read the votes out is embarrassing. But is there a bit of CEO adjustment in the voting because they saved themselves from a complete mare and Hughes has sort of fallen in? My tinfoil hat's back on, and I'm saying that they meddle and fiddle with the votes to make sure that there's not public outcry, to make sure that Jerome Hughes, who should have been a runaway winner, he fell in. Like, what's doing?
Here we go. But the old COVID didn't exist. Man didn't walk on the moon. There's human trafficking under Augusta National. At all. Hughes shouldn't have run away. I did the calculations. I had Teddy winning by a vote. So it was, Hughes, they both deserved a 6 at the end. The reason there's no betting on this goes back 30 years to the mid-90s. There was a winner was David Fairley. He was, and like before, he was $34. Day before, the engraver of the trophy, they engraved the trophy beforehand.
Oh my God!
he was $34 in the 250.
Oh my God.
And all of a sudden, in classic rugby league style, word got around, everyone was on. And all of a sudden, betting was off that. So they brought it back, and then obviously there was a Craig Bellamy scandal a few years ago, and the stats company had a coach. Take away the betting element, which is disgraceful. I would do anything to have a Brownlow for a rugby league. Because I can tell you, I watched 2 minutes of AFL all year. My bet count for Brownlow medal night must have been about 200, north of 250. So you can imagine what it would be like on the NRL. But it's not hard to fix. Read every vote out. Get some neutral people to do it. Having these ex-players do it is absolutely disgraceful. They've got no idea. One of the pleasing elements of the Dally M last night was that they actually stumbled on the right winner. But more often than not, they don't. More often than not, these clowns manage to find some other fool to win. Like Sean Johnson should have won last year every day of the week. So it was good to see Jerome Hughes win, but it's embarrassing. So I don't know that much about AFL, but you've got a Brownlow night. I presume you've got a ladies' Brownlow night. You've got your All Australian, 3 separate events. Probably go for like 4 hours a pop, go forever, blah, blah, blah. The NRL jams in the NRL Dally M, the NRLW Dally M, 2 teams in the year, and about 7 other awards in the space of an hour and a half. It is clownish. Absolute, like, I don't understand what the hurry is. It was embarrassing last night. And I've said this every year. I wrote a piece in The Guardian, I think about 12 years ago. It's like, just copy the Brownlow.
Yeah.
Like, the AFL is a shit sport, but you know what? It does award ceremonies. Excellent. Eurovision and the AFL dominate voting procedures and awards. So let's just copy one of the 2 leaders in the field. Let's do that.
Toprope, how come the refs don't give the votes? Why do ex-players do it?
Oh, good. The refs are red hot. They have been for a very long time. MG, if you've worked in a sports book, you know how hot it is.
The refs are red hot, and that's was one of the reasons I've taken off them. But there used to be 2 awards, and the Dally M used to be the second most prestigious sport. The most prestigious award used to be the Rothmans Medal.
Okay.
Which is what referees used to do. Then Super League come along, the Dally M become the award, and that was actually for many, many, many years until I'd say maybe the last 10. Awarded by journalists. If you think referees and ex-players are red hot, wait till you get journalists giving out votes. Because you don't want me giving out a 3-2-1. There's a hot tip, because I will be very much basing it on who I've backed. And then, yeah, but I think that it should go back to referees now. But I think the ex-players have no idea. And just make it secret. But the fact was, we knew who was leading after round 12. It was all published in the papers. It's just a debacle.
Oh, well, there you go. Breaking news. The GGOA is on its knees and may not go ahead next year. Full of scandal, can't organise the judiciary, the Dally M, and the bunkers in all sorts. So may cancel season 2025. So stay tuned. Could be an all AFL show next season. If you listen to one of the great podcasts, like the one hosted by Mick Malloy and Titus O'Reilly, Sports Bazaar, they did rugby league for the first time this year. As they noted, after the rugby league was formed in Australia, the original meeting, one of the people actually invited was a journalist and leaked it was in the paper the next day. Rugby league was born in crisis, and crisis is not a defect of rugby league. Crisis is a feature. So we thrive in crisis. We'll talk some AFL. We'll have a look in the review mirror, and there's a side that are Sydney-based that had their own personal crisis last Saturday, and you were there firsthand to witness it. MG, 60 points. It was 10 goals. They were flattered late in the game. The 6-goal second quarter was catalyst. I thought they were good from the get-go, and a little hat tip for you, a little bit of gold or something from the wreck was Will Ashcroft, 26 into 19. You tipped that one. And Hayward to kick the first goal, which is a bit lucky. I think it was someone else had a shot and missed or wasn't allowed. You hit that one at $14 too. So something there for the Sting subscribers, and that helped put some wind back into your sails, I would have thought. But I thought Brisbane given, I guess, the pre-season scandal, obviously last grand final, gosh, they just steeled themselves and got the job done. Like the belief they had from a few weeks out when they were staring down the barrel of that 8-goal deficit to GWS, steeled them. And I think they just had the tougher run, and that just set them up for a pretty soft Swans who hadn't left the Harbour City. I sort of half kicked up for the theory, but I don't think anyone could have expected them to go so poorly.
Yeah, no, it was, I think being on the Swans, I thought a few things happened early that I thought it was going to be the Swans' day, both, as you said, for the goal kicking. First goal side of it, I had took two players from each side, to be fair, so it wasn't Hayward one out. We had Cameron and Danaher both missed set shots, Scoot, and I thought, well, this is going to, this is Brisbane's Achilles heel here, and then Sydney went down and kicked 2 goals, and from that point I thought it was going to be not a comfortable watch, but I thought Sydney would have been happy after the first little part, and even at quarter time they were only a goal down, and I thought, both clubs would have probably taken that position. But yeah, the 16-minute period to end the second quarter was top shelf football, Scoot. It was amazing to watch, even though clearly I was on the other side. The Brisbane Blitz, I think it was 36 to 1, just blew the doors off the game, and the game was over by half time, led by 46 points. No one's ever come back from that far down, and I think they needed to roll Katy Perry back out for the halftime entertainment, Scoop, because there was done and dusted. I'm not sure. I think Sydney came to play. They were definitely up and about early. The energy, I really just think it was Brisbane Blitz. It was brilliance, they just killed him out of the middle, which I didn't think they'd be able to necessarily match him with the loss of the ruckman. But, I tell you what, Grundy was showing up really poor for a ruckman that should have had a big edge. He was obliterated in the middle from a basically a reserves ruckman, and Neil and McCluggage and especially Ashcroft. He just got to work. So it was a bit nerve wracking towards the end, Scoot, because we'd laid Neil. He was a false favourite. My mail is he was closer to 50-50 to playing whether the jab was going to take effect into his heel, and that's why how he came out favourite to start with just shows the bookies form that they do. But he got out to as big as $11 with the corporates. I think he was 13 or 15 on the fair and still nearly won it. I think it was borderline coin flip. So yeah, big deal when you go and lay one, Scoot, and you back the other one from 26 into 19. So. Yeah, we got out with a few escapes there. If you got the package, so you might not have done as much damage as you thought. But yeah, overall a bit disappointing, Scoot. We haven't had too many close grand finals of the past, so yeah, I'm hoping the NRL grand finals are a bit closer, Scoot, and we're alive with 5 or 10 minutes to go.
There's been I was a little bit surprised after the first quarter that Swans didn't try and slow the game down. And I think that's been a pattern of that I guess some of the coaches would like to maybe rethink their tactics, or they'll do the tapes heavily through the final series, I would have thought. And I think the same thing happened to Hawthorn. It was a pretty frantic game in the Hawthorn-Port game early. And it's an old little tactic of Alistair Clarkson once upon a time. Clarkson used to just have, say, 10 or 15 minutes of possessing the ball and getting the ball back into the player's hands and play a little bit of a keepings off style of game, and it's not the prettiest spectacle, but I thought the Swans could have benefited from that if they had have tried to touch the ball and share it around a bit. And after I saw that first quarter, I said to a couple of mates that I was watching the game with, I said, if they keep trying to match Brisbane at this frantic play, that Brisbane are going to be in this game for a long, long way and just hard to beat. But they just sort of they got suckered into it from mine. They just kept wanting to play fast, and that I thought that suited Brisbane Lions much, much better. And once sides get like that, it's frantic, and all the plans and all the systems and structures go out the window.
Yeah, I think the game plan was supposed to take the middle and move it with speed of foot. I just think they made too many crucial errors when it counted Sydney, and then it kind of snowballed really quickly, and it was a very quick amount of time where it turned around where the game was over. All of a sudden they head to the rooms at half time, and it was dusted 46 points. So I just think they were beaten by a better team on the day. I don't think too much went wrong. The only thing I don't like, Scoot, as in big games and grand finals or any sport, I'm a believer that you've got to have a physical element and a mental edge over them. I was really disappointed that Sydney didn't have any physicality towards the Brisbane Lions at all, and especially their ruckman. No one tried to, tell him that he was in the grand final. No one went to kneel, put him on his seat. Those kind of things really disappoint me. And watching it from at the G Live, you could see just lack physicality. All the great grand finals, I think, are won with an element of physicality. So, yeah, that part of Longmire's setup with Sydney really disappointed me. And I think they'll look back and say, if we get our chance again, we've got to go to war. Look at all the great sides of going back even 20 years. When you look at the Geelongs and the Brisbanes, what did they have that was unmatched? And that's the physicality. They used to scare the bejeebs out of the opposition. And Brisbane, when you speak to the Brisbane three-peat side, which was the last, Hawthorn were the last to do it, they did as well. They were the unsociable Hawks. The mental edge that they had over the opposition, is what got the job done more than talent, I think.
100%. And Tigers, through their latest wave of success, they were tough at it. They were tough as nails. So, agree, MG. It'd be fascinating to see next season, pre-season, who are the ins and outs. But, Sydney are, it's going to haunt them for a very, very, very long time. But great season of AFL, great prelims, and the AFL will be licking their lips in terms of what got offered on the field from the players for the entirety of the season. Let's have a quick look at NFL season, and we'll have a look at the futures odds there quickly at Top Sport. Kansas City Chiefs, $6. San Fran, $7.50. Baltimore, $8.50. The Bills, $11. Detroit, $13. Houston Texans, $14. Then you can get $16, $17, $22 about Minnesota, Philly, and the Jets from there. Top Rope, any thoughts?
Yeah, I like backing teams off the loss to I think the value's down. I think Buffalo are a touch of value. They're around the $11. Probably late Kansas City right now. Yeah, they've just got injured after injury. They lost Rashee Rice for the season. They're already very short on receivers. I'm pretty concerned about that. So Niners, McCaffrey may not play this year, so they're going to crank up his workload this week. So I'd probably be taking on the two favourites at the moment.
Outstanding. Nice little angle there, Buffalo Bills. And, yeah, they've had cop some big pain, so they'd be chomping at the bit to win one. MG, agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with Top Rope. I think that both two favourites got some injury concerns. He likes Bills. I can't bite that. And I thought the Ravens would be my pick at this stage at the $8.50, the third in line, the betting. I just think too many injuries is going to hurt at some stage, and you can't afford to lose any more as well. That's the thing. You got to get through three-quarters of a season almost with no more injuries to the top two. So there's plenty of value to be had in the NFL. President's
Cup, USA got the job done. Little heart flutter after day two. They mounted a bit of a challenge, the internationals, but too strong, the Americans. So no joy for us there. MG, speaking of joy, let's have a look at your season tips package results. So great overall result, plus 19.81 units, 3.66% pot. No shortage of sick beats through the home and away season, and a couple of nasty ones in the finals as a bit of a drive-by shooting style scenario. But your futures was absolutely spot on as well. 47 units bet, 7.59 at a 15.98% pot, and it's a sea of green because the Brownlow was good too, plus 12.24 units, 9.47%. So great result for your subscribers there, and obviously all the free content that you've put out on this show, thanks to Top Sport and Punting Form, has been well received from all our loyal followers at Little Birdie. So great result there. And off to the paddock and freshen up, watch plenty of NFL, do the homework with the trade season. Looks like everyone's going to Geelong. Terrific. Can't wait for Hawthorn Geelong finals. I can just lose my mind. And Port Adelaide, Dan Houston's up and about. Yeah, so, wow, there's a sea of changes that are going to impact a lot of the AFL off-season. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out for next year. But should be an absolute beauty, I would have thought. Top Rope. Let's have a look at your results. Got one over the bookies last week, plus 5.5 units, 6.5 bet, pot of 85%. So that was fat. And then your you're hitting 22 unit profit for the year at 4.70%. So you've got a couple of, you'll absolutely laugh in the futures positions. So they're going to shake out pretty well for you also. And it's just a matter of how far and how fat it's going to be, which is good. NRL Women's Grand Final is the entree, and they seem to be doing the women's game a little bit better than they are the AFL. The Chookies, Nicky's Chookies, $1.33, $3.20 the Sharks in the women's, and 8.5 the line at Top Sport, 39.5. This is your bread and butter, this stuff, Nick Tedeschi. How are betting?
Is a what? We're back in the we're back in the minus. We're back at big Sharks. Haven't really believed in them all year. They kind of started the season off undefeated. Great defence. Met some good teams at the back end of the season. Got absolutely towed, including the Roosters been 40-0 just a month back. Got to be with the Chooks every which way. There's a much better team now. The Dally and medal winner, Olivia Kearney. Taryn Aiken's back. Just Surges is back. They were both out the last time these two teams met. These teams have met twice in the past. The Roosters 40-0 a month ago, 36-12 last year. Best defensive team historically wins in the men's. We want to see if that translates to the women, but the best defensive team is the Roosters. Third best attack. Beat the Sharks all round. The Sharks lost to the Tigers 2 weeks ago, last place Tigers. So can't imagine that's great form heading this. So all over the Chooks here. Try scorers. I think they're going to put up a score. Yes, they're going to be plenty. You want to be all over the Dally medal winner, Koenig. And she scored, I think, 3 in the last 4. Amber Hall, absolute beast of a woman. She has scored, I think, 6 tries this year. She's absolutely flying either close to the one. Jamie Fressard's a star on the wing. If you can get Birdie everybody, she's a vet. And Taryn Aiken always shows up in big games. So I'll be having a little nibble on her. So working a same-game multis around those 4. And if you're looking for our best and fairest, like the Nelly Doherty medal, you want to be on Taryn Aiken.
All right, I might have to ring Tristan and tell him to duck and cover because the same game multis on the women's the Chooks Sharks game just could sink the ship. And strangely, in this new modern era of betting, they do. Sometimes the same game multis just add up and put them in an absolute full Nelson hold, and they just can't get out of it, the bookies. So
this is why Tristan's the smartest person around. He doesn't offer same game multis on the women's rugby league. So.
Oh no, I'm looking at it here, and it looks like he's turned it on for the grand final. So it's Christmas. Christmas has come early.
Tristan, well played.
Yeah, so no, they're definitely there. I see the little purple SGM on the Top Sport website, so make sure you get your fill on the Chookies and Sharks. So Nicky be happy with that. Full on chips in or a shove, as Adam Blenko calls it, on the Chooks at the minus. So happy to just cheer points there and sit and steer with that one. The main event, Toprope. It's so big, and I've converted so well to rugby league. I'm having an NRL barbecue. Didn't host the grand final party last week for the AFL, but definitely going to put a couple of snags and rissoles from I think it's Love Day Meats down at Burleigh Waters. Great butcher. They got the great Texas snags there too. So I'll be headed down there to get the barbie started for this one. Melbourne Storm $1.86. Penrith Panthers $1.96 the line, 1.5, and 40.5 the total here. Got the right favourite. They've tried to suspend any players that they can because it's the Melbourne side, but I'm smelling a massive upset with such a strong spine. I'm talking Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes, Munster, Pappenhausen, try time.
Well, you are the greatest gamble or something after it's been very lippy of late against the GGOA, which has been a marked turn for the last couple of years. It's been, frankly, a disappointing turn. So hopefully the grand final win and 2025 will turn that all around. I was really trying to talk myself into Melbourne in this one. I'd much prefer to be cheering the Storm and Panthers, but I've absolutely lobbed into the Panthers here. The number one defensive team of the year have won 12 of the last 18 grand finals. Penrith ticked that box. And there's been a differential of 3 or more. So Storm ranked 4th in defence. That's happened 3 times in the last decade. Top defensive team has won by 16 plus on all 3 occasions. So this sets up well for Penrith. head-to-head. Storm won both games this year, but excuses Penrith and both. Round 1 was hot off the World Cup challenge in the UK. And round 24, highly controversial game where they got a penalty right on the death to against Fisher Harris that probably shouldn't have been awarded. So Penrith won the last 5 games, 38-4. Last 8 games, Penrith scored 22 plus 5 times. Melbourne 8 or fewer 5 times. Finals are big. Penrith have allowed more than 12 points in just one of their last 10 finals. I'm not sure where the Storm points are coming from in this game. That's the issue for me. Penrith covered 7 of the last 8 finals. They've won 21, covered 21 of the last 32 against top 4 teams. They've covered 6 of 8 of 8 call, covered 9 of 12 and $1.80 or larger. There's no knock on Melbourne here. Melbourne are a great team. They're a fantastic team. But Penrith know how to get these games won at the end. For all of Melbourne's historic run over the last 2 decades, they've lost a lot of grand finals at that time too. And a bit of defensive team wins you always want to start. It's got to be a natural safe position. And I'm all over Penrith. I'm backing Penrith. I'm backing Penrith 7+. That's
probably the most disgusting minute and a half that I've ever heard for the whole season.
I'm going to have a shower after this.
That's not going to air, surely.
Cutting room floor.
No one's going to listen to that. I tell you what, he is staunch top rope Scooty, and he's switched to Melbourne Storm camp ever since I've known him for whatever it is, the amount of years. He's been storm. Now he jumps on the Penrith ship and he's just going down with it now. He padded those stats one way, unbelievably.
I hope I do go down with the ship, but I'd much rather see Melbourne. Doesn't matter how much money I have on the Panthers on Sunday night, I'll be cheering the Storm.
We want a live webcam of Top Rope actually cheering the Penrith.
Imagine cheering down Melbourne over Pat or Mitch Kenny over Harry again. Makes you sick, but here we are.
What do you mean they can't score a try? That's the biggest load of crap that I've ever heard. Their spine are going to carve this team up. You got Nathan Cleary is stuck together with sticky tape. His shoulder won't last 2 seconds, and the NRL knew it, and that's why Nelson. Now, the first player he's going to run through was Collins. He got him, and the second player that he was going to run through is Nathan Cleary. He would have put him in hospital, ended it straight away. And I'm saying that Cleary might not even make it to half time. That's my big prediction.
I don't know if you ever recall Cooper Cronk played a grand final with literally without it. I'm pretty sure Nathan will be able to get through.
Not sure. I've seen Oscar McInerney recover, and he was probably half the reason.
He's an AFL player. He's not a man. He's an AFL player.
Well, he popped his shoulder out and had the collarbone hanging out, but I'm not sure. I reckon they'll just be all over him, target him. Who cares about suspensions after this week? They will target Cleary as hard as they can possibly do. And what's he need? He needs he got away he needs 40-20 miracle kicking games. That Storm will be all over that. They won't be able to pull these bullshit tricks, and I didn't think they were that polished in the first 20 minutes last weekend against the Sharks. And the Sharks were terrible last week. They were terrible last week. Who? Penrith. Yeah, exactly. And it was only the Sharks fumbling and bonehead errors that kept them.
Don't get caught in recency bias. You're better than that, Scoot. You're a season gambler. Come on.
Look at the contempt Top Rope's treating your argument with, Scoot. All he wants to hear is what you're betting against him. That's the only thing he wants to hear.
I think the safest way to bet is probably the under 40.5, but I'll be riding the Storm all the way home, and I think they're absolutely cherry ripe. Rewind to last year's grand final. Last year's grand final, they were absolutely blessed to beat the Broncos, all but the last probably 10 minutes when the Broncos shit the bed. They thought they had the game won. They were shaky as all get out, and I think the occasion might get to them.
The occasion.
There's a lot of expertise from some AFL comments.
They've won 3 in a row, Scoot. How's the occasion going to get to them?
Well, there's one thing that's not going to happen to Penrith is the occasion's going to get to them.
They've played in 5 grand finals in a row.
Well, everyone was so certain that the Swans were the best team all year, blah, 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 blah. They were over the line, and then the mental toughness of Brisbane Lions was too strong. They got a massive spine, the Storm, and they'll single-handedly probably carry them across the line here.
Well, they're a very likeable spine, and I hope you're right, because I really can't stand seeing Penrith win all these titles, but you're wrong. and I think where you are right, I do like the under angle, but I'll be playing the first half under would be the safer bet there. Grand finals have a tendency to get away late. We've seen a couple in the last 2 years. The last 2 years, I think it was 8-0 at half time last year, 8-6. And then the year before, Penrith, their game was going under until they scored 2 tries in the last 4 minutes. So when the game was all over, so just a little bit mindful that I'd probably try and split that bet up to first half under and under total points.
This is great news for me, Toprope. I've led the horse to water here in Scoot, giving you a free crack at you to have a bet, and he's hesitant for whatever reason. And I'm on the Storm for a small beach house, so I'm happy Scoot's not committing. I'm happy to go and Storm alone.
He knows how expensive 2 bottles of Cecil Spin are.
Nathan Cleary's your 2-unit play for the Clive Churchill medal. I'm saying that's disgusting as well. It'll be my man Munster or the Daily M winner. It'll be Jerome Hughes. I think you're completely drunk on all this defensive nonsense Toprope. And the only disappointing thing is that we don't have next week's show. This is
what
the last
next week's show? We've got a month of. Oh, so what? We get a full AFL recap. Don't worry about that. We won't bother about the NRL.
I'll tell you
more anti-rugby league bias on Little Bird.
It'll be so embarrassing for you when Storm win. You won't want it next week.
I'll just be doing a live stream at the same time next week, guys.
I'll give you a live recap after the game from the pub. Nikki can recap her Roosters with the women's, and I'll do the Storm for you.
I take losses as well as anyone's good. You know that I've had enough of them over the years. So.
Outstanding. Some first try scorer options. Let's have a quick look at the market there, because I think all the sickos like myself will be betting into those. Brian Toto, $10. Pap, $10. But apparently Melbourne can't score a try this Sunday. Anything there that still sort of sticks out?
What was it? I like Alamotti a lot. Where the Storm League tries is on that Nick Meaney or Warwick side. Good matchup there.
$19.
Centers have a great record scoring grand finals as well. There's been 56 tries in the last decade, 14 have gone to centers. So value there to scoring 9 of the last 10 sides. So I'll be looking there. I'll also be looking at Taruva for your same game multis, and Nathan Cleary. Only 3 half-back tries over the last decade. 2 have gone to Cleary, and both have been last tries. So he's a second half try scorer, so you get a extra value on second half try and to score last try.
All right, big thanks for UMG AFL insights all year, been fantastic. And again, Nick Tedeschi, sensational with your rugby league. Keep an eye out on our socials. There might be some more rugby league pop up from us with some tournament action coming up. But a big hat tip from me. You've both shown a profit for the entire year. Had a lot of fun with the show, and a big thanks to our major sponsors, Top Sport and Punting Form. I usually sign off, and the boys never say goodbye, but I'll let you guys say goodbye. MG. Wrap up the year.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, it's good. Good across the board. Enjoyed it. We had a few different co-hosts. Also, a shout out to the producer of this podcast, Mr. Borko, as well. He's a captain of a loose ship, I tell you that. And he gets the job done every week. So we are all over the place at the best of times when we go to either the Masters or we go to the Bull. He has to put up with a lot. So a shout out to the man next door, Borko, who puts all this together as well.
Yeah, too good. It was remiss of me to mention that. Nick Tedeschi, final word.
Great season as always. Thank you, Birdie. Thank you, MG. I've managed to really get some nice meditation in when the AFL has been talked about. And, at least all eyes this week will be focused on the greatest game of all. So let's go rugby league.
Just what we expected. And a big thanks to Nikki for hosting and filling in the chair on my my mid-year holiday. So big thanks to her. Hopefully the Chooks can win the women's as a bit of solace for her. All right, a big thanks to our sponsors and everyone that puts the show together. And we'll see you next season. And go Storm, over the line, Morals. See ya.